Hello, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or whichever placement brought you here. Welcome to Pito's Practical Tarot and your reading for the month of September. We are going to start the reading by asking about the dominant theme showing up for you. This part of the reading should resonate with you. If it doesn't, please go ahead and check out a different placement. We will then ask what is showing up for you internally. So like your emotional space, how you are showing up, and then things that are coming your way. All right. So that's more about energy showing up outside of you, things that you might just not have control over, anything that you need to know. All right. We will also be pulling some cards a little bit later on, asking for advice on how to best navigate the energy throughout the month. And I'll also use my little deck of self-care to wrap up the reading, just, for some self-care suggestions, because that's always important. I do hope that there are messages for you in this reading. And if there are, please feel free to let me know. Your likes, comments, subscribes are greatly appreciated. Thank you, and let's get started. All right, so as far as the themes showing up over here, you do have lunar eclipse, and it seems like you're heading toward a transition over here with cusp showing up. Okay, now the lunar eclipse does speak of things being brought into the light. Okay, like there's something that's been hidden, maybe feelings, maybe thoughts that you've had, very deep within. I feel like these are things that you haven't quite talked about that all of a sudden are coming to the surface. I'm gonna say, be very mindful, because a lot of things that might be coming to the surface are things that you may have even been hiding from yourself. Okay, so this could be the rise of like the things rising up that you hadn't even paid attention to, right? Like maybe there was something that you were just kind of ignoring or suppressing, or like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, and all of a sudden it's being exposed. All of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm at my wit's end and I don't know how to deal with this now, right? Or something like that. So do be mindful. Okay, I do feel like whenever any lunar energy shows up, it's asking us to be introspective. It's asking us to sit with emotions, sit with feelings, actually pay attention to what our body is telling us, and checking in with our intuition. Okay. Now, I do feel like this illumination, these things being brought to the light, are going to tell you about some things that you will be shifting, or that you will be wanting to transition out of. Okay, so this might look like releasing something. This might look like trying something new, something different, and it could leave you throughout the month feeling like you're in this, in the liminal space, right? Kind of like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm heading. I'm going to say that it feels like, I'm going to say the liminal space, right? Like when you're in this, what's going on? Where am I going? It can be a very tough energy to navigate. Okay. I do not want to dismiss that. So I want to say, like, honor that space though. Okay. Like allow yourself to give the opportunity to sit with, like, oh shit, like, sorry for cursing, but I might not know where I'm heading, but what is it that I'm sensing right now? What is it that I'm feeling? Okay, kind of back to the lunar energy that I was saying about the beginning. Okay, like really checking in with your intuition, and your thoughts and your body are going to tell you more about what direction you want to head in. So as much as you can, honor the transitional space. And I'm even gonna say, right, like maybe not feeling like you have to take action on something right away. Okay, now as far as your internal realm over here, like I see this, right? I feel like that's why this transition space is going to be so important, because you could be feeling, I'm gonna say, for some of you, this could be as deep as you having a spiritual awakening. Okay, maybe you're like, I don't know why I just heard, but I've had a spiritual awakening. We go through several in our lifetimes. Okay, but there is a new version of yourself rising up. Okay, like for some of you, I'm gonna go back a little bit until because I'm going to say, Venus is currently in Libra, and then we're going to head into Libra season. So I feel like it's going to be your season for a long time here, okay? Or I don't know, like you're going to be in the spotlight, you're going to be seen. I feel like it's going to be good for you, okay? So there are new versions of yourself that are arising, that are being formed or reborn over here. And while I see it as a deep transformation, okay, like you really honoring your feelings, like you just kind of valuing yourself and learning how to stand up for yourself as well, and things like that, like standing your power. I'm also seeing that this could mean some physical transformations, all right? Like some of y'all could be changing your hair, maybe changing your clothes, your attire, okay? You could be trying to explore, kind of in a more material realm, right? Like you might be visiting new places or trying to experience, I heard food, all right? But, experience new things as well, okay? And so, it could look like a lot of different things. I feel like the transformation is starting from your deep within, okay? But it could be showing up in how others see you as well, and how you're presenting yourself physically, all right? Now, it is going to be a very important time for you to give to yourself. With this Mother of Cups, I love that she shows up in like your innermost, because it talks so much about self-love, okay? So focusing in on the way that you are nurturing yourself, that you're validating yourself, that you're honoring just who you are and your needs throughout this month is going to be so important, okay? Particularly because I feel like the external energy that's coming toward you can be a little bit more challenging. So you really strengthening your needs and who you are is going to be so important for how you navigate these situations. You have the Five of Swords and the Five of Coins showing up here, okay? 5-5. I'm going to say fives in the tarot can be a very challenging energy, but they do speak of changes. Changes are coming. We talked about this over here with the transition, okay? You shifting into something new. And while change can be very uncomfortable, it does speak to working toward things that are going to ultimately be better for us and for our growth. This second opportunity, okay? I'm going to say, for some of you, I feel like, what, I'm okay. I'm gonna take a step back, because I don't feel like this is gonna be the month where you're making a lot of moves. I feel like during this month you're more contemplating the moves that you might make, okay? But for some of you, you could be shifting into something completely different, okay? There could be, let me ask for a clarifier over here, all right? But like there could be some moves that you're making that are completely different, and for others of you it could just be that you're having a second opportunity to change things up. How can I say this? Like you're having an opportunity to change things up in a current situation, okay? Let me see if we can get any additional information about what these transitions might be speaking to, all right? King of Swords, Strength, wow, 10 of Wands, goodness golly. Okay, this could be career or work related for a lot of you, just like with the King of Swords. That can sometimes indicate a boss, okay? Strength, like Leo, I don't know, that Leo energy also gives me like authority figure sort of thing, which I, with the Five of Swords, this could be like authority figures. So I'm going to say, I am getting some kind of boss vibes, or somebody who's in charge and authority. Could be like, so that makes me think of work related, but it doesn't have to be, okay? It could just be somebody that you feel has power or authority over you. That might look like a parent. I mean, for some of you, that could look like family, friends, something like that you feel like, oh, this person has a lot to say in my life here. And I don't know how I feel about that is what I'm getting. But yeah, like I do see for some of you, like you could once again, like you could be wrapping, like you could just be wrapping something up. I was hoping to get some clarification on what the situation might be, so I hope that provided some clarification. All right, but the overall energy, regardless of what your specific situation is that of, I think it's just really going to vary. Some of you are walking away, and some of you are choosing to stay on like something, but like something needs to shift. Okay, so let's say that this is a work related situation. You might be looking for a new job. You might be trying to see if there's stuff that you can delegate, if you can get additional support, if you might be able to get a raise, if you might be able to like have some sort of accommodations made. Okay, and I think that's where that cusp is going to be important, because before you make any final moves, you might be trying new things before you decide to fully walk away from something. Okay, I'm going to say the Five of Coins does speak of looking for resources. Okay, so while there is this challenging energy over here, I'm going to go back to this. I do see some sort of authority figure, people trying to tell you how to live your life, sort of thing. Being very present, but I feel like it's going to be up to you. Yeah, I feel like you're being asked to take a more proactive approach to looking for solutions. Okay, and I say this in the context of, sometimes solutions come to us and we just kind of have to be in a receptive energy and kind of, be open-minded to that. But I feel like this month you are kind of seeing what's out there, speaking your needs, voicing what's not working, to see, and it might not be, how can I say this? You being more proactive might not be that you need to find the solution to your problem, but it could simply be, hey, boss, this is the problem that I'm facing in my current situation, right? Like, I'm overworking, or I'm not getting support, or whatever it is, okay? And then seeing if your boss or this person, I really see you interacting with somebody. Like, I really see you like kind of having this conversation with somebody. I'm gonna say, for some of you, this could be a spouse, this could be a friend, this could be a sibling, a parent, like something, it doesn't have to be boss related. Okay, but I do see you speaking to somebody about your needs not being met, or you needing more support. Now, I think the reaction will vary. For some of you, you could be getting that support, and this person could come up with solutions like, oh, okay, well, maybe we can, I don't know, like, well, maybe we can cut your hours, like, and, you might be like, what, and it's like, well, that would mean less work, but it also means less pay. And then you have to figure out, oh, is that what I want? Right. So, like, I do see you kind of trying to figure out, right, like, what works for me, what doesn't, what am I going to charge toward here. But there are resources and there are options. Okay, I feel like for some of you, you might yourself, because of this strength within yourself, you could be coming up for solutions. Okay, so and I'm gonna say, because it's really hard to figure out what we need sometimes, especially when we do not know what we have access to. But I do see you being more confident about what it is that you need. And don't be afraid to ask for it, is what I would say. Okay. So if you know that you just need, maybe you're like, well, I don't, maybe I'm going to go back to this work thing. Okay. Maybe you're like, no, well, I'm overworked, but I don't want my hours cut. I want more pay for the work that I'm doing. Right. Like, money would help me out here, speak it out. Right. If you're, thinking, well, I need somebody to support me with some of these things, I need to delegate some of these things, that's what I need, then share that, say that. Okay, I feel like that the more proactive that you are about your needs and asking for what you need, the more support you will get. I'm not going to say that it's going to come easy, because I do feel like it entails you standing up to someone that you might even be afraid of. But that's the energy that I'm seeing over here. So I'm actually going to pull some advice for you now and see, what else, what your actual advice is for navigating these energies. All right. How can Libra best navigate these energies? Yeah. Wow. Woo. All right. You know what? Sometimes messages just reinforce themselves, and I'm seeing that with the Magician over here. But I love it because it's a lot more positive, it's a more positive interpretation than the Five of Coins, right? Because the Five of Coins can indicate you feeling like you're losing something, like you're down and out. And the Magician is saying, hey, we have enough. We can figure out our resources, right? Oh, sorry, I didn't finish my thought about this, with the Five of Coins, but it's kind of like, but there's still resources out there. I don't know what they are, but I need to find them. If I look up, I can see them. And the Magician's like, yes, we know what we have access to. Yes, we know what we need. And I really see this, as you being very strong of mind and very knowledgeable about your needs over here and using your resources wisely. And I love this, right? Because the Magician is saying potential, right? Like good things, new starts, you transforming situations, manifesting what it is that you actually need here. And goodness golly, I'm going to say 3 major arcana cards showing up here as your advice. I don't know. And then even just, and then the Judgment card as well. I do feel like this could be a significant month for you, Libra, or a significant period, because I'm seeing this as, I don't know, I feel like this is going to extend into, I guess the second half of September is Libra season. It's your season, all right? We'll be veering into that. So I do feel like you have the next couple of months are going to be a significant shift for you. But, with the Hanged Man, I go back to this, kind of, you're not making a lot of moves right now. You're gathering your resources. You're figuring out what you need. I'm going to say with the Hanged Man, you're even putting yourself in uncomfortable situations so that you can gain some sort of understanding, right? So that uncomfortable situation might be standing up to someone. That uncomfortable situation, like I'm going to take a step back and even say, for some of you, advocating for your needs, you might know your needs. You might know what you want. You might know feel things, right? But you might not know how to speak it. And even just saying things, even saying, hey, I need support or whatever, might be difficult, right? That might be the uncomfortable situation. For others of you, it could be like an actual conversation that's difficult, or, kind of, I'm getting a negotiation. A conversation where there's negotiation, kind of like, where can we meet halfway? Okay, well, like, I can do this. No, I can do that. Okay, like, kind of this going back and forth, and that might be uncomfortable, but it will ultimately give you perspective, okay? I feel like no decisions are being finalized at this time, but there is a lot of understanding. The High Priestess showing up here in your heart space. I feel like, and with the Mother of Cups in your most internal, I'm really seeing this as you really learning to trust your intuition, like your intuition, your emotional needs, you kind of coming from the space of like, I am confident in what I am working toward. I am confident in what I am aware of and what I know. The High Priestess has a wealth of knowledge over here, and that is you. And I feel like you're giving that power to your emotional space right now, because your emotions are telling you so much. And I'm almost hearing this also as, for those of you that may be dismissing your feelings, they're actually telling you a lot more than you realize. Like maybe whenever you talk to your boss, you feel a pit in your stomach. Well, what is that telling you? Maybe you don't feel safe around them. Maybe you don't feel like you can be yourself. Maybe your throat chakra closes up when you're talking to a certain friend. Well, what does that tell you, right? So you're paying attention to those things. You're honoring those feelings, because ultimately, like, you have the information within you about what it is that you need here. Okay. I'm gonna say Pisces energy. It could be significant because you have the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. So whether this is surrounding yourself with Piscean energy, Mother of Cups could be Pisces sometimes. Okay. But also I'm seeing this as, look, take it or leave it. I would never, look, just kind of what I'm seeing. Getting in touch with your spirituality could be important at this time. So if you have spiritual practices that you've left behind, that could be something that needs some attention, or exploring what spirituality means to you. finding, I like to call it the connection to the collective, the connection to things that are bigger than us, asking for support from your spiritual team, asking for support from the universe, kind of exposing yourself to that or being open-minded to that, okay? Because I'm going to say for some of you, you could be getting a lot of messages through your dreams. You could be getting a lot of messages through nature, speaking to you, something like that, where I don't know, like I feel like it could just kind of give you the sense of serenity or just kind of comfort within yourself and comfort trusting yourself and your intuition as well. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move to the more, the next part. All right, anything else, any big messages that we may have missed here. All right, Libra, I'm gonna say if this reading is resonating with you, please feel free to let me know. Your likes, comments, subscribes are greatly appreciated, and let me know if you'd like to see more readings like this. Wow. You have budget check, you have clarity, and you have art, okay? Oh, very different mess. I mean, I love this, okay? Because it's like you have a little bit of everything, okay? But yeah, so you might need to do some budget checking. That might just mean, adjusting your finances, all right? Making sure that, you're not being overcharged for something, making sure that, I don't know, right? Like, where am I overspending? Where can I cut back a little bit? May also need your attention. But yeah, just kind of bringing things into balance over here. Clarity. I do feel like that you will be gaining clarity throughout this month. This is a month for, like I said, not a lot of physical moves. Is that mental clarity, that trust within yourself. I'm going to go back to this. I feel like that spirituality or connection to something more spiritual or bigger than you can help bring you some sort of clarity if you're willing to delve into that. And also art, all right? So if you're artistic, getting in touch with that side of you, or even just exposing yourself to art, right? Maybe go to a museum, or maybe, you can watch videos or shorts on art, and just kind of experiencing art for what it is. It's very subjective, we always talk about that, but whatever art means to you, get in touch with that as well. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and finally I'm gonna wrap up with my little deck of self-care. I feel like, I don't know, this reading is getting kind of long, but just little things that you can do to take care of yourself at this time, Libra. All right. Wow. Ooh. All right. Oh, okay. You have a full energy, lover's energy showing up over here. I'm going to throw this out there. Some of you could be encountering new love. If that is something that you are looking for, okay, this wasn't intended, I didn't do any, anyway. The point is, new love could be coming soon, okay? It's something that I got, all right? But you have trust, okay, with the full energy, okay? I'm seeing trust yourself, trust the universe. So really, I go back to this high priestess, this like knowing yourself, like being very aware that you have the answers within you over here, okay? And trust that the universe and yourself, like that you are supported and that you will be supported in whatever it is that you eventually decide to charge toward, okay? Bring balance to situations. With the lover's energy showing up here, like I go back to this, right? Like I do feel like you will be eventually having to make a choice. I don't see you doing it right now, but I feel like it's going to start with you doing things out of self-love, okay? I love this, all right? Like your mantra for this month is, I deserve the love I desire. And if this is romantic love, great, but I'm also seeing this as just, in your connections and your interactions, that, for example, I know, we don't think about it, like I don't think we think, for example, I'm gonna go back to the work example. We don't think about it, right? Like I deserve to be loved at my work. Like I don't know, the concept seems a little bit weird. But what I'm trying to say is that, you still deserve to be treated the way that you want to be treated, right? So like I deserve the respect that I desire. I deserve the, fill in the blank, whatever it is that you are needing it, like you deserve what you desire, okay? But you have to start by giving that to yourself. So whether that is that love to yourself, that respect to yourself, all right, it starts with you over here, okay? So I deserve the blank I desire. That's your mantra, all right? Finally, follow the cycles of the moon. And so I feel like Aren't there some eclipses or something showing up? There could be something there, okay? But following the cycles of the moons could be a little form of self-care, because you could be, I mean, you can even start with new moon and full moon, and then just checking in yourself on those states. Okay, how am I feeling? You know, oh, it was a new moon and I was really sleepy. It was a full moon and I was really sad, right? Like, it doesn't have to be that deep, but the point of doing that is introspection, reflection, okay? You can push it, and you know, maybe you're having a really off day or something, and then you're, you know, maybe you're looking at the moon and you're like, wow, the moon was in Aries today and I felt really out of it, and you just kind of make a note of that, okay? And you can think about it as more of data collection at this time, and eventually maybe using that to make some patterns, you know, connect. But I'm going to say the first purpose of why I wrote this, right, that self-care is introspection, and you sitting with your feelings, particularly so important, feelings, intuition, right? Like all of those things. The high priest is the hanged man. It's lunar energy, okay? More lunar energy showing up, okay? Woo! All right, Libra. I hope that there were messages for you here. If there were, please feel free to let me know. Your likes, comments, subscribes are greatly appreciated. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I hope to see you again sometime. All right. And have a wonderful, wonderful September. Bye.